Welcome to the Legally Speaking podcast. I'm your host, Rob Hanna. For today's special mini-sode, I'm delighted to be joined by Trevor Houston. Trevor has recently been featured in Forbes and is the talk show host of the highly successful Who You Know job networking show, and an expert financial services professional, a licensed agent for all things insurance, and team advisor for the social movement. So, a very big welcome, Trevor.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. So before we talk about all the amazing things that you're currently up to, and today we're talking about how to stand out in the current competitive climate, why don't you tell our listeners just a bit about your career journey to date and a bit about you?
Yeah, so, I made a transition from the auto industry into financial services back in 2015, so about 5 years ago. And that was a pretty big jump because it's just a different environment, right? It's the difference between inbound and outbound sales, right? And so it was like one of those things where you have to figure out how to get someone's attention and figure out how to keep them engaged and to build trust and value with those folks so that they want to do business with you. It's a whole different animal going from automotive to financial services. Starting that career, I started to pick up on a bunch of different types of technology and different things that helped me to stand out and get attention. And I started networking with a local group called Frisco Connect, which helps job seekers. And so what I noticed was that job seekers needed to network as well. They needed to connect, and it's all about who you know. It's not always what you know, but who you know, right? And so that's kind of what birthed the idea of the radio show and the platform that we're on now, helping job seekers with the Who You Know show. But what I did was I started teaching them. I started showing them different ways to get attention, to get noticed, to attract their target market. And that's what I was recently, featured on Forbes for. There was some technology that I've been using in my business for a long time. And I basically, except in the beginning, I started to show them how to do it. And then the results started coming back, and they started showing me how they were landing jobs with this thing. And so I put together some training programs, and we've helped thousands of job seekers to really stand out and to get noticed by employers. And so that's been really, really amazing to watch that transformation and to watch people, get the attention they deserve. Because right now, when you're seeking employment, you're just in a black hole. You're in cyberspace. So that's what really drives me, is to help transform people and to help them to get seen in such a busy world that we're living in.
Yeah, and I think you're doing such a great job. And we're definitely going to talk a little bit more about that. But one thing I want to talk about as well is LinkedIn, because you and I think, got introduced originally through our mutual friend, Shay Rowbottom, who featured on our Legally Speaking podcast. And she was sharing lots of tips and tricks for inspiring and current practicing lawyers about how to embrace the platform. I know you're a big fan of the platform and use it really, really well and effectively too. What benefits have you seen, as a professional services, person using the platform and embracing the platform?
Yeah, I mean, LinkedIn is all about professional networking. And, if you use the platform correctly, you can connect with the people that you need to connect with. That can open doors for you. We've built a community. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing that I can tell you, is that like LinkedIn is a way for you to build a community where you have champions and advocates and people, talking about you, saying how great you are and things like that, to really add some organic fuel to your business. And it's all about providing value. LinkedIn is one of the most positive networks that are out there. I think it is the most positive. Everybody wants to help each other. Everybody wants to lift each other up and encourage each other. There's very little trolling and bashing and people talking trash and all that kind of stuff like you see on Facebook and Instagram and everything else. It's just such a positive professional network, and I just absolutely love it. It's my favorite, and I've really, that's where the job seekers are at. It's where the recruiters are at. It's where the business owners, the entrepreneurs. I mean, it's the place to be. If you're not on LinkedIn, you're missing out for sure.
Yeah, and anyone who follows me and everything that I do, I'm a big advocate for the platform. So I just want to talk a little bit more about your job networking show, Who You Know, because it is amazing what you're doing, because you're helping so many professionals, including sort of, lawyers, accountants, insurers, a whole range of people. But I guess explain to people maybe listening in how it could be beneficial to them and how they can learn and hear more.
The show is all about networking, and it's not just for job seekers. I mean, that's our primary target audience is job seekers. So we've got on one side you got job seekers, recruiters, hiring managers, career coaches, but we also have a lot of salespeople, business owners, entrepreneurs who are watching the show as well, because one big theme that you hear a lot of us talking about is mindset and overcoming obstacles and challenges and how to get to that next success, right? Whether that's, you're changing careers or you're trying to level up your business. It's all the same, in my opinion. Like, when you're in a career transition and you're moving from one place to another, it's a journey, right? And so there's going to be those obstacles in your way, and you're going to need to hear from these folks that we're bringing on the show, like Shay and Glenn Lundy and David Meltzer and all these people who can really uplift your mindset and take you out of that funk that you're in. We all get in a funk sometimes. We all get in a slump, and sometimes we just need someone to encourage us and lift us up and give us a hand and help us out. And it's all about networking too. It's about, putting those job seekers in the same room with the recruiters. When I do that, man, amazing things happen. We have people literally landing jobs from the comments, from the live comments. People are landing jobs, and I just can't even imagine. Like, when we first started this thing, I never thought that was going to be the case. And again, concept. I was telling people, hey, you know what? We got recruiters watching, so put a hashtag and then put what you're searching for in the comments. And so people started to do it, right? And it was just a concept. And then all of a sudden, sure enough, the recruiters would go look at their profile based off of that hashtag, and then they would hire them. And I'm like, my mind just exploded. I'm like, this is amazing, just putting people in the same room at the same time with a commonality of networking, and all of a sudden people are landing jobs. So it's awesome. Love it.
Yeah, and I love what you're doing with the platform. So, I look forward to seeing where it's going in terms of its next steps, but I know it's continuing evolving. But yeah, from me as a recruiter, I think it's fantastic. So really excited for that. And just as one of my last sort of questions, I mentioned in the intro as well, you are a team advisor for the social movement, which, me as a sort of fellow entrepreneur as well. For those perhaps new to that, tell us more about that, just sort of briefly.
Yeah, this is going to be a really cool docuseries. You're going to want to check it out on Amazon Prime. It's releasing Earth Day 2021. Kind of got a late release pushback because of COVID. So I was supposed to be shooting season 2 like right now, but that was supposed to happen in Montreal, and COVID shut things down. So let me just give you a brief overview of what the show's about so you guys can go check it out. They're going to be flying in business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs from companies all over the world, okay? And they're flying them in. And also what's cool about this is you've got different demographics. So you're going to have Gen Z, millennial, you're going to have Gen X, baby boomer, like the whole demographic of all the different generations collaborating, right? And they're collaborating to solve social issues. And so you get put on teams, and in these teams, you're going up and you're battling these social issues that are pretty complex, things that are pretty tall mountains to climb. Like, I'll give you some examples. Suicide is the team that I'm going to be on, the team I'll be tackling. They've got suicide, pandemics, racism, big social issues that have been going on since the beginning of time. And what we're there to do is collectively come together as a team to overcome and to create a business solution, okay? A business solution to try to tackle issues like suicide. I'm just so excited to be even part of something like this. And then there's going to be a secret panel of judges. And this secret panel of judges is going to vote on who they want to move forward. And the company or the team that moves forward, they're going to actually start to put together that business idea and actually formulate an official business to tackle on that social issue. So it's really cool. I mean, it's just an exciting reality series, docuseries. Their tagline is 4 days to change the world. So it's just really cool. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and I'm really excited for that one as well. I can't wait. So listen, lots of people are going to be inspired from what they've heard today, potentially people trying to get a breakthrough in their career or just wanting to be around more entrepreneurial or inspirational people. So if people want to follow you or get in touch about anything we've discussed, what's the best platform for them to do so?
Yeah, definitely LinkedIn, right? I would love for you to connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you're not on LinkedIn, that's okay. We've got multiple platforms. Just go to whoyouknow.show, and that's our site where you can plug in. And, if you want to get to YouTube or, whatever other platform, Facebook, whatever platform you're on, you want to connect, that's fine. But I would prefer just come connect with me on LinkedIn. That's where the party is. I'm telling you, everybody is collaborating. There's a big community, and we'll embrace you and welcome you into the Who You Know family. Just come connect with us on LinkedIn.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Thanks an absolute million, Trevor. It's been a real pleasure having you on. I'm wishing you lots of success with all your future sort of entrepreneurial pursuits and all the work you're doing to give back. It's a real testament to you. But for now, over and out.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Legally Speaking podcast. If you enjoyed the show and want to help support us, remember to leave us a rating and review on Apple iTunes. You can also support the show and gain exclusive benefits, bonus content, and much more by signing up to our Patreon page, which is www.patreon.com/Legally Speaking podcast. Thanks for listening.